بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وبه نستعين على أمور الدنيا والدين وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد خاتم النبيين وآله وصحبه أجمعين ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. Today inshallah ta'ala we will do more than we normally do. Inshallah. Anyone who memorized up to where? Who has the most memorized? Oh, okay. I was told to speak up. It's different than being asked, I guess. Who has the most memorized? Who has the most memorized? Okay, let's ask it. Who has the least memorized?
Me.
Who? Who's me? Who's me? Who?
Never mind.
Who is it? Who? Okay, go ahead. Tell me what you have.
Huh?
Tell me what you have then.
I have to read to you right now?
Yeah. Nobody? I'll pick. Rahman, what do you have for me? Nothing? Not even the first line? La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. What about you? Anything? Go ahead, bismillah.
From the beginning, right? Alhamdulillahi sabigini wa qalikin insani min badi adam. Falhamdu thumma alhamdulillah. Hamdan kathiran tayyaba ya Rabballah. Atayana karam kathira Rabbana. Satarta ankuli wa ra'u yubana. Thumma salatu badu wa taslim. Allah Nabi'i Mustafa Karim. Wa ilihi wa sibihi kirami. Asadati abrari wa idami. Wa badu fa'alamu fa'khairu matara. Bihi lisanu natikin wa majara.
Bananu
katibin bihi. Bananu katibin bihi.
Tawheedu.
Tawhidu lillahi rabbil kauni wa tamjidu wa hadihi urjuzatun
Qasira.
kasira tam
في حجمها
fi hajmiha lakinaha kabira. That's it.
ما شاء الله بارك الله فيكم جزاكم الله خير. طيب, anybody else? Who? حمدي تفضلي مشكورا.
No, I don't have it.
Not even one line? Huh? لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. Yeah, I want anything, whatever you have to offer to us.
Okay, I'll do that. Alhamdulillah, السابق النعم وخالق الإنسان من بعد العدم والحمد ثم الحمد ثم الحمد لك حمدا كثيرا طيبا مرفوعا أعطيتنا كثيرا
خيرا كثيرا.
خيرا كثيرا ربنا سترت عن قلوب وعيوبنا ثم الصلاة بعد والتسليم على النبي
على النبي
المصطفى الكريم وآله وصحبه الكرام
الكرام.
الكرام وساتة الأبرار والأعظام. نسأل الله.
You gotta catch up. Do two lines a day. That's all I'm asking you to do. Memorize 2 lines a day and you'll catch up. That's all you have to do. 2 lines a day. Very, Especially, alhamdulillah, you have a family of students that should be battling with each other. Who can memorize more? That would be, the joy. I wish that would be a joy to have, brothers and sisters that are all seeking knowledge. Alhamdulillah. That's a ni'mah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you all should, take advantage of. Compete with each other. That's the competition that is, Allah Musta'an, that's praiseworthy. You know, how much did you memorize today? Oh, I beat you. Oh, you know, subhanAllah, think about it like this, right? Make it a family competition with each other. Who can memorize the most? Who remembers the most? Who did the best in class? Those type of things. Inshallah. May Allah bless you. Fatima, so you didn't have nothing? Munira. Huh? Asma. Asma. Huh? Khadija. The whole thing. No. No, I'm saying don't go. No. Min al-ilahi. That was a mistake I put. So you were right, but I wrote a mistake. So another mistake in the writing was that another mistake that happened in the print was in the line as-sayyidul azimu wa huwa al-malik is better. It fits the wasn't in the poetry better if you say wahwa al-malik. It's very famous in Arabic poetry that they drop it here and they make naql, and instead of saying wa huwa al-malik, we're changing it to wahwa al-malik. It fits better. So instead, say, I wrote on the new paper, you see it's on the new paper, as-sayyidul azimu wahwa al-malik. Wahwa al-malik. It's easier to recite.
This is the same.
No shadda, just make a sukoon on the ha instead of a dhamma on the ha. As-sayyidul azimu wahwa al-malik. Hakada. As-sayyidul azimu wahwa al-malik. Like this, okay? Muna Abdul Wali. First line, second line? Abdul Rahman. Yeah. The whole thing from wherever you have. That's it. طيب. I'm going to read it, and I'm going to choose someone to explain. From amongst those people who didn't memorize, I'm going to expect you to have to at least have the understanding of it. That makes sense? At least we can do inshallah. If you don't have it memorized, then your fahm of it should be superb. طيب. Did I skip anyone on the girl side? طيب. الحمد لله سابغ النعم وخالق الإنسان من بعد العدم. تفضل عبد الرحمن. Explain. يهديكم الله ويصلح. No, يرحمك الله. Abdul Rahman, this one. Go ahead, explain this line. الحمد لله سابغ النعم وخالق الإنسان من بعد العدم. Who can help him? Someone explain who didn't memorize. Munira, assalamu alaikum. Did you memorize? Actually, I meant to tell you all, right? I forgot to tell you on Thursday. But alhamdulillah, it's the nature of mankind. We're forgetful. That I withdrew my rule on Wednesday. Somebody that you owe thanks to made shafa'ah for you all. And I decided to not kick anyone out for not coming to memorize on the weekend. So you should thank someone. If you don't know who it is, just make dua for them. I forgot to tell you on Thursday. So, mashallah. That's just how it is sometimes. Anyway. الحمد لله سابق النعم وخالق الإنسان من بعد العدم. Munira, explain this line to me, please. سابق النعم. الحمد لله سابغ النعم وخالق الإنسان من بعد العدم. Someone explain it to me, please.
All praise is for the one true God who pours out the blessings abundantly.
That sounds like my translation. I want an explanation. What does that mean? All praise. What is praise? What is hamd? Praise of certain praise of the characteristics of one that is beautiful or deserving of praise, right? And praise at times comes with thanks, right? Not always. Praise is not always containing thanks. Praise can be for one, hamd can be for someone. They just have beautiful characteristics. It might not affect you, or it might affect you. If their characteristics affect you and they've given you something due to their beautiful characteristics, then it includes thanks. Otherwise, it's just mentioning their good, right? Otherwise, it's mentioning their good. Alhamdulillahi sabigh al-ni'am wa khaliq al-insani min ba'd al-adam. Explain this to me, please. The what?
The one who created mankind from nothing.
What does that mean?
Like he didn't need, like he made it out of nothing or something.
طيب. فالحمد ثم الحمد ثم الحمد لك حمدا كثيرا طيبا يا رب لك. That's pretty easy and clear. Somebody explain it to me though, quickly. Huh? Why more praise and more praise? Why? طيب, keep going. حمدا كثيرا طيبا. What's طيبا? What's حمدا كثيرا طيبا? What's a Rabb? Ya Rabbu lak. Someone tell me what the Rabb is. And Al-Qayyim. طيب. What do those words mean? They sound nice in Arabic. What do they mean in English? Right? Help. Let's go. Where's Muna Abdul Wali? أعطيتنا خيرا كثيرا ربنا سترت عن كل الوراء عيوبنا. Explain it, someone, anyone, please. You've given us great good. ربنا سترت. What does the Rabb again mean? Malik, Sayyid, Murabbi, Mun'im, Mudabbir, Qayyim. Sayyid is what? The one that you go to for your needs. Mun'im is what? The one who benefits you and gives you blessings. Mudabbir is the one who puts everything in its proper place. Murabbi is the one that nurtures and gives everyone step by step what they need to be able to survive and come into completion and perfection. Qayyim is the one who maintains everything. Did I skip something? The Malik is the owner of who? You, me, and everything in existence. That's the Rabb. طيب. ثم الصلاة بعد والتسليم على النبي المصطفى الكريم. What does the salat mean upon the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم? طيب. The reality is that it's this, right? To mention the dua, asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to mention him in the Malal A'la. طيب. What is the characteristics of a messenger? Who remembers that? A messenger. What is a messenger?
The one who
Righteous.
No, well, of course he has to be righteous. He is what?
comes down with
The messenger doesn't come down with anything. He receives revelation. Right? We mentioned this. What is a messenger?
Is
okay, the message of the characteristics
What's the characteristics of a messenger?
that he doesn't have no like physical defect.
Barakallahu fiqh, ya Shaykh Hamdi. He has no physical, he has no, not defects, he has no defects that make people run from him. Like leprosy or smell, or anything that when a person sees it become frightened. Oh, I don't want to go next to him. No. A messenger will never have that. A messenger will always be what? A man. Right?
And he'll come from a well-known tribe.
Not a well-known tribe, but he will never have bad lineage, meaning he will never come from zina. He will never be the child of zina, meaning a mother who had him out of wedlock, not married, right? What else? He will always be a free person. He will always be a free person. A messenger will never be a slave. As well, he is someone who receives revelation from Allah, and he is tasked, commanded to convey that message. He is commanded to convey that message. طيب. وآله. Who is his al? Who is the al of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Who? No. If they mention al and sahbah together, that means that they're different. The al are those who cannot receive zakat. Banu Muttalib wa Banu Hashim. Right? Those people who are not allowed to receive the zakat. Huh?
his family, right?
His family members. No. Sadaqah. Jazakumullah khair. These are his family members that are not able to receive the sadaqah. طيب. Who are the companions? They met him,
And believed in him.
believed in him. What else?
Died as a believer.
They died as a believer. Even if they became kafir for a moment and came back. طيب. وبعد فاعلموا فخير ما ترى به لسان ناطق وما جرى بنان كاتب به التوحيد. So, explain this to me. وبعد فاعلموا فخير ما ترى به لسان ناطق وما جرى بنان كاتب به التوحيد لله رب الكون والتمجيد. Who's going to explain that? Munira, assalamu alaikum. You want to explain that line? طيب. وبعد فاعلموا فخير ما ترى به لسان ناطق وما جرى بنان كاتب به التوحيد لله رب الكون والتمجيد. Go ahead, bismillah. Go ahead. Yeah, you started, right?
What is our problem? So now with certain things, it's best thing to keep your tongue first with the tawheed and tamjeed for the love.
What is tawheed?
Tawheed al-uluhiyyah and rububiyyah and it's not the purpose.
What is it? What is it?
It's belief in his name.
No.
Ar-Rubiyah.
Ifradullahi bi'af'alihi, right? His actions. Wa asma'ihi wa sifatihi. Wa ifradullahi bil-ibadah. Right? Singling out Allah alone with his actions, what he'll do, his creating, his providing, his sustaining. We say Allah is the only one who does that, right? It's important stuff. Tawheed. What's Tawheed? This is what you were created for. What is Tawheed, young men? Don't look in the paper. What is Tawheed?
Worshipping Allah.
No, Tawheed is not worshiping Allah. I just told you what Tawheed was. Tawheed is what? Of three types. Tawheed is to single Allah out in His actions. That's Tawheed al-Rububiyyah. To single out Allah in His names and His attributes. That's Tawheed Asma wa Sifat. To single out Allah alone to be worshipped. That's Tawheed al-Uluhiyyah or Ubudiyyah. Right? Does that make sense, everyone? This is what you're created for. Nothing else matters if you can't tell me why you were created. You were created to do what? To know Allah and to worship Allah. What were you created for? What's Tawheed? No, I just told you what Tawheed was. What's Tawheed? To single out Allah in His actions, which is Rububiyyah. To single out Allah, to make Allah want, that you don't focus on anyone, or you said Allah's actions, He's the only one, He's unique. You know what unique means? That no one else can do it like He does it. He's unique in His actions. He's unique in His names and attributes. And He only deserves to be worshipped. This is Tawheed. Now again, what is Tawheed?
Single out Allah in His attributes, His names.
You guys sound really suspect saying it. What is Tawheed? La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. What is it? I'm asking them and they're not responding to me. What is Tawheed? Tawheed, again, is to single out Allah in His actions. He's unique in His actions. Say it with me. Tawheed, number one, Rububiyyah, is Allah's uniqueness in His actions. Say it. Allah's uniqueness in His actions. Say it, everyone, because it seems like we don't remember. It's Allah's uniqueness in His actions. Rububiyyah. Tawheed or Rububiyyah is what? Allah's uniqueness in His actions. Again, say it. What are you looking at me for? Say it. Allah's uniqueness in His actions. Tawheed al-Rububiyyah is Allah's uniqueness in His actions. Tawheed al-Rububiyyah is Allah's uniqueness in His actions. Tawheed Asma wa Sifat is what? Allah's uniqueness in His names and His attributes. Tawheed Asma wa Sifat is what? Allah's uniqueness in His names and attributes. Tawheed al-Uluhiyyah is Allah is the only one who deserves to be worshipped. This should be like your middle name. This is more important in reality than your name. This is why you're created. You won't even deserve to be on this earth except for this purpose. You have no right in reality to take air in, to eat or breathe, except with understanding this purpose. Do you understand how serious Tawheed is? Allah says, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. He did not create you to eat and drink and play. He created you for Tawheed. If you don't know Tawheed, then you do not deserve to eat or drink on Allah's earth. If you don't know Tawheed, you don't deserve to breathe Allah's air. That's why the kafir, his sin is so serious. Every moment of his life, he's in sin because he's using the blessings of Allah and he does not fulfill the duty. That's why the kafir is the worst of the creation, because he's not fulfilling the duty that Allah created him for. That's why. If you want to know what makes the kafir so bad, they're breathing Allah's air and they're not fulfilling the duty of Allah. Ma haqq Allah ala al-ibad. What is the right upon Allah's right upon the servant? And ya'buduhu wa la yushriku bihi. And that they worship Him and that they don't ascribe any partners with Him. If you can't tell me this, why are you breathing? Tell me, what is Tawheed?
His names and attributes, and no one is worthy of worship except Allah.
وبعد فاعلموا فخير ما ترى به لسان ناطق وما جرى بنان كاتب به التوحيد لله رب الكون والتمجيد. لله رب الكون Allah is the Rabb. The Rabb here is the creator, the maintainer, the sustainer, the provider, the Murabbi, the one who makes everything up, everything in existence. What tamjeedu? How do we make tamjeed of Allah? We glorify Him, we exalt Him, meaning what? We put Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we exalt His mention. When we talk about Allah, we talk about Allah in the best of ways. When we think about Allah, we think about Allah in the best of ways. When Allah comes into our heart and we're thinking about Allah in our heart, it fills our heart with His greatness and His majesty, His superiority over everything in existence. This is tamjeed. Okay? Allah. When we say Allah, subhanallah, the name of Allah is not even pronounced except with, subhanallah. Allah. When you say the name of Allah, it's with tafkhim. Allah. Right? Even the name of Allah is pronounced like this, with majesty and grandeur. وهذه أرجوزة قصيرة. We can skip this part, but وهذه أرجوزة قصيرة في حجم لكنها كبيرة. This is a small, short poem. It says وهذه أرجوزة قصيرة, a small, short, لكنها في حجمها ولكنها كبيرة. In its size, but in reality, it is huge. What makes this poem huge? Alaykum salam wa rahmatullah. What makes this poem huge? Because it's talking about Allah. Everything that's dealing with Allah becomes big. Everything that's dealing with Allah becomes huge. Everything that deals with Allah, we deal with it in a way where we're like, whoa, this is talking about Allah. There is nothing, there is no science, no ilm, no fan for Islam that is more important than knowledge of Allah. There is nothing that is more important than knowledge of Allah. Repeat this in your head. There is nothing more important than knowledge of Allah. How dare you think about anything to be more important than the knowledge of Allah? Where you cannot properly articulate to me, meaning express to me or to anyone about Allah. There's something wrong with us if we reach this level. What's the issue? في وصفها ولفظها والمعنى تشرح أسماء الإله الحسنى. This poem is great and big in its description, its wording. Why? Because it's explaining the names and attributes of Allah. Tell me what's tawheed, you. What's tawheed?
Is believing there's no one that's equal to Allah. No one's equal really to Allah.
In what? In what? His names and attributes, His worship, and His actions. Okay. أقول فيها بعد بسم الله وراجيا توفيقه الإلهي. I'll say, meaning in this poem, after saying the Bismillah. Someone explain to me, what does Bismillah mean? Yeah, what is the Bismillah? What is that? What do we do? What is that for? No. No. It's wrong. Why is it wrong? That's bidabt. It's not. It's partly right, but partly wrong, so it makes it fully wrong. Partly right, partly wrong makes it fully wrong. This is the level that we have to have. We have to have itqan in our ilm. Partly right, partly wrong makes it fully wrong. Tayyib? It's for tabarruk lil musahaba, throughout the whole thing, not just at the beginning. Not just the beginning. The musahaba. That you're asking Allah to have barakah to accompany you throughout the whole thing of what you're doing. That's important. Because it's not for just the beginning. It's for musahaba. Tabarruk, that you're asking Allah to bless what you're doing until you finish it. Not just the beginning. We need the barakah of Allah to accompany us throughout the whole proceeding. Throughout the whole thing. Okay? Bismillah is for asking for Allah to bring barakah, to have the barakah of the name of Allah to accompany us throughout the whole thing that we are getting ready to do. Whether it be eating, drinking, going to sleep, walking down the street, coming into the masjid, reading a book, writing a book, starting a class. We're asking for the barakah of Allah to be with us throughout the whole thing. Correct? Is this right?
Yeah.
Tayyib, what's tawheed?
Allah's uniqueness.
No, not you.
The uniqueness of Allah's action and attributes, the uniqueness of Allah's names and
You said the same thing twice. The uniqueness of Allah and His actions. The uniqueness of Allah and His names and attributes. The sole right of Allah to be worshipped alone. Allah alone has the sole right to be worshipped alone. No one else. Tayyib? No matter what wording you use to say it, it all needs to come about the same way. Mustaghfiran Rabbi min at-taqsir. Oh, we're starting the next part of the poem now. Pay attention. The Shaykh, Hafidhullah Ta'ala, he starts and he says, Mustaghfiran Rabbi min at-taqsir. He says, I'm seeking I'm seeking forgiveness. Istighfar. Mustaghfiran meaning, I am. My hal, the situation that I'm writing this poem in, I'm seeking refuge, seeking forgiveness from Allah. Mustaghfiran Rabbi min at-taqsir. I'm seeking the forgiveness, meaning I'm asking Allah to wipe out my faults and mistakes. Who from amongst us does not have faults and mistakes? The Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, "Kullu bani Adam khata'." وَخَيْرَ الْخَطَّائِينَ التَّوَّابُونَ. The Messenger of Allah ﷺ, he said, all of the children of Adam have errors, make mistakes, fall short, don't get it right sometimes. But the best of those who have mistakes are those who make tawbah. The Messenger of Allah ﷺ said, Tuba liman wajada fi sahifa. He said, Tuba, may Allah, glad tidings, or Tuba can be considered a tree in paradise. For the one who finds in his sahifa, his scroll of good deeds, a lot of istighfar. So we should be in the habit of making istighfar a lot. Istighfar opens up the doors to good for us. Istighfar opens up the doors of rizq, of provision for us. The more istighfar we make, it saves us from the punishment of Allah coming down upon us. Istighfar should be on our tongues always. The Messenger of Allah ﷺ said, Tubu ila Allah wastaghfiruh. He said, seek the forgiveness of Allah and make tawbah of Allah. He said, for indeed I make tawbah and seek the forgiveness of Allah more than 70 times a day. If this is our Messenger ﷺ, who was protected from falling into the major sins and protected from falling into error, what about us? We don't have that protection. We err every 5 seconds, perhaps. We should be making istighfar continuously. Istighfar changes the affairs in your life. It changes the situation from your situation being a situation of evil, bad, and ruin to being a situation that's praiseworthy and good in the sight of Allah. Make a lot of istighfar. Make a lot of istighfar. Astaghfirullah, and it's easy on the tongue. Astaghfirullah wa atubu ilayh. That's all a Muslim has to say. Astaghfirullah wa atubu ilayh 100 times inside of a day, right? Something like that. That's all you have to say. Astaghfirullah wa atubu ilayh. It's easy on the tongue, but how many of us say it? It's easy on the tongue, but how many of us say it consistently? Why? Because we haven't been given the tawfiq, the success from Allah to say these easy words. Astaghfirullah. Say it a few times. Get used to it. Astaghfirullah wa atubu ilayh. Say it. Astaghfirullah wa atubu ilayh. Astaghfirullah. We have reasons to say it, right? Anybody don't have any reason to say astaghfirullah? So don't be shy. Say it. Astaghfirullah wa atubu ilayh. Astaghfirullah wa atubu ilayh. Astaghfirullah wa atubu ilayh. Astaghfirullah wa atubu ilayh. I seek the forgiveness of Allah wa atubu ilayh, and I'm turning back to the repentance. Say it every time that you could think to remember. When you say something bad, you think something bad, you do, say astaghfirullah wa atubu ilayh. That should be on our heart and our tongue because we need it. We're wrong. How many times today have we been wrong? Have we done something we shouldn't have done? Already the day is short. Astaghfirullah wa atubu ilayh. Look how kind Allah is to us. Mustaghfiran Rabbi min at-taqsir. Somebody tell me, who was the Rabb? What does it mean? Al-Mun'im. You go ahead.
Only the Arabic word.
Okay, tell me.
It's the one that nurtures, the
Uh-huh.
one that owns,
Uh-huh.
the one that provides,
Uh-huh.
the one that protects, or he's the one that protects everything.
Tayyib, you translate, I'll say. Tayyib. Al-Malik.
Al-Malik, the owner.
As-Sayyid.
As-Sayyid, the protector.
No, the Sayyid is the one, is the boss, the one that everyone goes back to get their affairs met. Right? As-Sayyid. Al-Mun'im.
Is the one that don't.
As-Sayyid. Al-Mun'im, the one who blesses, who gives the blessings. Al-Murabbi.
Al-Murabbi is the one that provides.
Al-Murabbi is the one who nurtures. Right? Which comes in, provision comes in there. Right? Al-Qayyim. The one who maintains. Right? Al-Mudabbir. The one that puts everything in order. Keeps everything running properly. Right? Mudabbir. So he's saying, I'm seeking forgiveness of the one who does all of that for me. Minat taksir, from any deficiencies that I might have, which we all have what? Taksir, shortcomings. We didn't fulfill it the way it should have been fulfilled. We were told to do this. We were told, aqimus salat. Did you think you prayed today in a way that's fulfilling to Allah? It's a question. We were told, Allah gave you a command, aqimus salat. Do you think you prayed in a way that is sufficient to Allah? I'm asking you guys a question. What do you think? What do you think, girls? Do you think you prayed in a way where it's good enough to Allah? So you have taqsir, right? You have some shortcomings where you didn't do it in its completest way. So we're asking Allah to forgive us for that, right? Allah commanded us to do things. If we didn't do it in a complete, perfect way, and none of us can do it in a perfect way to Allah, right? Then we have shortcomings. So we're asking Allah to forgive us for those things and to give us mercy for it. Tayyib? Mustamiddan wa mustamiddan fadlahun kabir. Mustamiddan means hoping, seeking for, right? Asking for his fadlahu kabir. Allah's great bounty over us. Allah has bounty and favor that's over us that we need that just to survive. Right, Munira? Can we survive without the fadl of Allah? Fadl, his bounty, his favor, his blessings. What would you do without the fadl of Allah? Tell me. Basically, you're right. What would you do without the fadl of Allah? His blessing over us. Tell me what's the greatest fadl of Allah after His creating us? What's the greatest fadl, blessing that Allah has given us?
Forgiveness.
Huh? Life? Some scholars say life is not it.
Forgiveness.
Huh?
Forgiveness.
No.
Guidance.
Somebody said it. Guidance. Islam. Islam is a better fadl than life. Islam is a better blessing than life itself. Why? How many people have life and they're not Muslims? Guidance from Allah is more important than life. Because guidance will allow you to live forever in Jannah. Life might not. Right? A person might use their life and use it terrible. But this blessing of Islam, this fadl of Islam, there's nothing like it. There's nothing that we can compare to Islam. Again, I said what? There is nothing that we can compare to Islam. That's his fadlahul kabir. That is more important to us, Asma, than living. That's more important to us than life. What do we do with this Islam though? Tell me. We have this huge blessing from Allah called Islam, called hidayah, called guidance. What are you doing with it? What have you done with this blessing today? Someone tell me.
Try to share it.
You tried to share it? MashaAllah. What else? What did someone do today with this blessing?
Thankful.
Thankful? How did you show that thanks?
Worship.
Worship. Barakallahu feekum. What do you guys do with this blessing called Islam? You did what? Practice it. Tayyib. Practiced it. What else? Anyone else? This fadl called Islam, what did you do with it? If I asked you, if I gave you $1 million last week, what would you do with it? $1 million. What would you do with it? $1 million. What would you do with it? $1 million. 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 $1 million I gave you $1 million last week. And I asked you today, what did you do with that $1 million? Tell me, what did you do with it? If you tell me it was at Black Friday and you spent it all up, I say, man, you didn't do nothing with it. You shopped, you just put money in everyone else's pocket. What did you do with that money I gave you?
Spend it in the cause of Allah.
That's something okay, yeah. Build some massages. That's what I want to hear. So this blessing that you have with Islam, what did you do with it? Every day you should be using this blessing in a way that's pleasing to Allah. Otherwise, guess what? Allah might take it from you. Yes. Have we not seen that? Have we not seen many people who are Muslim, not Muslim today? Many Muslim countries where they had laws of Islam, you don't see the law of Islam there? Don't you know that the Prophet ﷺ said there's going to come a time where the Muslims will go back to worshiping idols? Why? Because they didn't take Islam to be serious. Idols, actual asnam. Yes, the Prophet ﷺ said this. That Muslims will go back to worshiping idols. The Prophet ﷺ said this. Don't you see in some places they have graves in the masjid? People go pray to the masjid? To pray to the graves? Have you not seen this? They slaughter in front of the grave and say, oh, in the name of this person in this grave? That's just the beginning of it. Don't you see the Muslims fighting over money, power, and control? Those are idols. As one of the Salaf, they said, he said, for every people there's sanam. For every people there's idols. And the idols of this ummah is wealth. It's money. People fighting and killing over it, right? But reality, said the Prophet said, they're going to actually go back to worshiping idols. Why again? Because they didn't take Islam to be serious. They didn't learn Islam. So much so that's going to come a time where the Prophet ﷺ said that people will forget who is Allah. It's authentic hadith. The Prophet ﷺ, he said people will come and they will ask their children, they said, La ilaha, they said, oh, I heard my grandparents say that name Allah before, but I don't really know what it is. How does that happen? By us not taking Islam seriously. By us not learning Islam. Maybe that can happen to our children or grandchildren or great-grandchildren. That you ask them who's Allah, they say, I heard that Allah before. It's reality. It comes by us not taking Islam serious. It comes by us not taking this blessing of Islam to be serious. Tell me, do you really think Islam to be a blessing? To be Muslim? To have this? Tell me, why is Islam a blessing to you?
You won't be doing bad stuff.
Muslims do bad stuff. So many Muslims do bad stuff. Why is Islam a blessing? Muslims do what the kuffar do. Give me something real.
You can't get yourself.
Huh?
You can't get yourself.
You can't guide yourself?
Inshallah, you get the paradise.
No, that's not why.
You get the paradise. Inshallah.
Why? Being a Muslim doesn't guarantee you going to paradise?
To not die, except for in the state of Islam.
Yeah, but okay. What if you? We're talking, Muslim is a name. Remember, Islam is a name. Doesn't mean you are a believer. Paradise is for the believers, not the Muslims.
Die not in a state of disbelief.
Okay, we're getting somewhere. Tell me how Islam is a fadl to you.
It guides you how you should live.
Guides you how you should live. Tayyib. Okay. What do you got? Well, how's Islam a blessing to you?
The right way to go.
You know, I'm going to tell you all something, right? And this is a problem that we have. Most of us have, right? That Umar radiallahu anhu, he saw it. Umar radiallahu anhu, he saw this problem happening amongst the Muslim youth. He said, Islam will be left foothold by foothold. All the strong points of Islam will go away, one by one. All the things that the Muslims hold on to and make it their deen, and they hold on to it for the safety of their deen, it will go away one by one. That's what he said. Umar radiallahu anhu. He said, why? They said, why, Umar? He said, when the children of the Muslims don't know the evil of kufr. Pay attention to that. When the children of the Muslims don't know what their parents ran from. Remind you, Umar was a kafir at one time, right? Abu Bakr was a kafir at one time, was a mushrik. So they ran from that, and they believed what they were running away from. They remember the idiocy that they used to worship. Some of the Muslims used to worship date pits. You know the date pit that sometimes you guys throw on the masjid floor during Ramadan? Yeah, those date pits. They used to pick those up and worship them. That's the craziness of kufr and shirk. Some of you don't know what that is, so you run towards it. Not even realizing that you're running towards it. That lifestyle of kufr that we warn you about so much, you don't know what it is. So you think it's shiny. So you see the Muslims act more like kafirs sometimes than their own kafirs do. So we can't say, oh, the fadl of Islam is that we don't act like kafirs. No, it's not true. Muslims act like kafirs more. Don't you see in Dubai they have a bigger Christmas tree in the world? Muslim country. Biggest Christmas tree in the world. Do we understand what that means? The biggest sign of kufr is in a Muslim country. So what are we doing?
Trying to imitate those people.
What are we doing? How many of you came today looking like a Muslim? Besides our girls, may Allah preserve them. Right? Right? So where's this not acting like kuffar thing at again? Somebody tell me. So now give me a real example of the fadl of Islam to one of you. Real example. If you can't tell me, you better find one or you'll lose it. If you can't tell me something real for why Islam is a benefit to you, you will lose your Islam. Because it's not important. That means it's not important to you. Does that make sense? So tell me, what is the benefit of Islam? I'm waiting. Huh? What do you say?
Like it gives you rights, like laws, like for like example, like how like it protects women.
Islam protects women's rights. That's true.
Keeps me away from what I used to do.
Keeps you away from what you used to do. Good, alhamdulillah.
Reminds you of Allah.
Reminds you of Allah.
Reminds you of Allah. Islam always reminds you of Allah.
Tayyib, reminds you of Allah. What's important about being reminded about Allah?
He remember you.
He remembers you?
Exactly.
MashaAllah.
He
Good.
remembers you.
That's a big letter. Barakallahu feekum. Tayyib. What about anyone else? What else?
Gives you honor.
It gives you honor. MashaAllah. Does it give us honor? Or are we sure? So why do the Muslims act like they don't want that honor? That's a real question, right? If Islam gives us honor, why do we throw it away? I don't want to do that. You know why? You know what? Well, you know how Islam gives us honor? Not just because we're Muslim. Islam gives us honor by acting on Islam. By practicing Islam completely. Udkhulu fi silmi kafa. Islam does not give you an honor because my name is Khadar. Not a name. That my name is Muhammad. No. Islam gives you honor if you live for it and die for it. If you're not willing to die for Islam, you don't have the honor of Islam. It's reality. That's what it means. Don't die except as a Muslim. You gotta be willing to die as a Muslim. And don't give it up. What did Umar radiallahu anhu say? When they were coming across and going into Palestine, what did he say? When the people said, Umar, fix your clothes. You got raggedy clothes on. And you're the Khalif of the Muslims. That's what his slave said to him. No, excuse me. That's what one of the companions said to him. And he said, if anyone said this to me besides you, I ought to cut your head off. That's what Omar said, right? I'll cut your head off. Telling me to fix my clothes. How many times we see people say this to us, right? Oh, you're going to go in there wearing a thobe? Don't do that, man. You know people going to think bad. You're going to go in there wearing a hijab? You know, like the girls say, they say, oh, we go to Dixie with this hijab on. We can't, you know, sometimes I heard people say, oh, we can't wear, what is those things called? What is this one called? No, not this one, like what Asma has. What's it called? Hijab. That, oh, we don't, you know, people will laugh if they wear it to school. Muslims, right? They say, oh, no, you don't wear that. That's for Dixie only, or the masjid. You don't wear that to school, right? Is that true? Am I making that up? Right? When you go to school, you just wear the khimar. Right? Little hijab, wrap it around, get your thing, right? I'm not saying you're not covered, but why is there a different dress for school in Duxie? Why do our boys wear thobes to the masjid but not to school? Right? Why can you wear, why? They say, oh, you know, I was talking with a business partner of mine the other day, right? And he told me, he said, oh, you know, but if, you know, if we get this deal, then, you know, mashallah, you know, you got to wear some slacks. I said, nah, I'm not doing that. Slacks like dress pants. I said, no, I'm not doing that, Jack. Yeah, with a suit coat. I said, been there, done that. I'm not doing that. He said, nah, but you know, you got to look a certain type of way. I said, no, I don't. I wear a nice thobe, maybe some dress shoes. That's what you'll get out of me. Right? Not wearing dress pants and a tucked in shirt with a tie on to say I look presentable. No, my Islam is presentable. If you can't accept my Islam, don't accept me. Because you got to respect my mind, not what I'm wearing. Right? Respect my mind. So we say what? Again, if Islam gives us honor, Umar radiallahu anhu, he was saying, he said what? He said, if anyone else besides you would have said this to me, I'd have cut your head off. He said, Allah gave us Islam, raised us with Islam. And if we seek honor through anything besides Islam, Allah will humiliate us. Think about that. Do you know who the Arabs were before Islam? Do you know who they were? Historically, do you know who they were? Nobody. We got the time of the Arabs before Islam. Why do you think the Arabs weren't conquered? They didn't really, nobody cared about it. It was a desert, no water there. Nobody cared. Nothing notable came from there. So everyone left them alone. That's why they were left alone. Allah preserved that area in that manner where they were left alone. Nobody cared about conquering Arabia. Caesar didn't want it. Kisra didn't want it. It was just like, oh, it's Arabia. Arabs, they're little, you know, sheep herders. Nobody really cares. Some camels is there, right? Wasn't a big deal. After Islam, everyone knew their name. Right? Allah honored them with Islam. And that's the same thing for us. If we seek honor through anything besides Islam, Allah will humiliate us. And do we not see that today? The Muslims are being humiliated. Why? Because they're seeking honor from the kuffar. They're seeking honor from those who can't give the honor. Allah has all the honor. How are you going to seek honor from other than Allah? Why do I got to dress to impress you? I should be dressing to impress Allah. Right? If I can't come in there with my hijab and niqab on, I don't want to come in there. Not me, of course, alhamdulillah. I don't wear hijab nor niqab. But the point is for you all, right? If you're not welcome there with your hijab and niqab or whatever, then why? I don't want to be there.
You're not doing it to please Allah. So
No, you gotta, no, what I'm saying is this, have enough honor for yourself to say, if I gotta take off my hijab to come there, or I have to take off my niqab to come there, then keep that. I don't want it. That's real honor. If I gotta take my thobe off to come there, I don't want to be there. You should be begging me into coming to your place. I'm a Muslim. You need me in your place. I don't need to be in your place. That's honor. So if we talk about Islam gave us honor, then let's act like Islam gave us honor. Let's stop playing games. Let us be proud to be Muslim wherever we are. I remember I was in the gym working out, and I was leaving the gym, and the brother said to me, when the brother saw me leaving, he said, Akhi, you know, we at the gym, we don't need no da'wah right now. So I wasn't giving them da'wah, but that's just the mentality that people have, right? When they see you come in, you got your thobe on, they get nervous, so they got to say a little joke to break the air. And we don't need no da'wah right now. I said, hey, I'm working out like everybody else. I'm not coming to give you no da'wah right now. May Allah bless us, right? But the point is, if I'm not welcome walking in here with my thobe on, I don't want to be here. Right? Does that make sense what I'm saying to you? Really show the honor of being a Muslim. Really show the honor of being a Muslim. That's the fadlul kabir. Do we understand? Yeah. Then the author says, Subhana Rabbi salimun min al-ghiyab. وَلَمْ يَحُطْ وَهُمْ بِهِ وَلَا فِكَ. Wallahi, this line of poetry is so beautiful if you understand it. This line of poetry is so beautiful if you understand it. سبحان ربي سالم من الغير ولم يحط وهم به ولا فكر. طيب. So he says subhana. This word subhana, it means it's tanazzah, this tanzih, that is freeing Allah from any imperfection or defect. Subhanallah, when you say subhanallah, it doesn't just mean, how do you translate? Somebody translate subhanallah to me. Huh? No, that's not enough. Glory to Allah. No, it doesn't mean that. It means Allah is free from any and every imperfection. No imperfection can come to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's what it means. لا يعتريه شيء من العيوب. That no defect or imperfection or shortcoming even comes close to Allah. It's unimaginable that Allah will have a defect. Allah is too perfect for any shortcomings. That's what it means. Allah subhanallah means what? Allah is too perfect. That's what it means while you're glorifying. And that's what they translate as glory be to Allah. Because you're glorifying Allah. You're saying what? Subhanallah. Allah is too perfect to have any imperfection. Do you see how that means? What that does to your heart when you think about Allah this way? That Allah is so perfect that it's unimaginable. It's impossible that Allah has any imperfections. Subhana Rabbi salimun min al-ghiyab. Subhana Rabbi. That my Rabb. What does Rabb mean? Malik. As-Sayyid. Al-Mun'im. Al-Qayyim. Al-Mudabbir. Al-Murabbi. Tayyib. Salimun min al-ghiyab. So my Lord is free from any imperfection. Why is he free from any imperfections? Why? Tell me. Because he's too perfect. He's so perfect. Allah. Nothing is wrong. No imperfection comes to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because he's too perfect. Salimun min al-ghiyar. He's free from any ghiyar. Ghiyar means any alteration, any change, means any naqs. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is free from having any deficiencies, nothing goes bad with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ghiyar, it means naqs here. Who just asked me this question? You? Okay, ghiyar, it comes from the word for taghayyur, change. But change here is not talking about that Allah is going to do something that he's not able to do. No, change here means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, one of two things, that he will never be described with characteristics that, Tayyib. Ghiyar here is speaking about a naqs, that Allah is not going to have any bad thing that comes to him. As we say, وَمَا قَدْرُ اللَّهَ حَقَّ قَدْرِهِ. Right? That they don't give Allah his proper estimation. They don't understand Allah properly how he deserves to be understood. Allah will not have any defect. Salimun min al-ghiyar. No naqs. No uyub. Allah is free from all of that. Any defect, any imperfection, any diminishing of his greatness and perfection. That's what it means here. He will not go from being perfect to being less perfect. Salimun min al, that change. He's free from changing from perfect to imperfect. Does that make sense? Subhana Rabbi salimun min al-ghiyar. My Lord is too perfect. He's free from ever becoming imperfect, from changing, from being perfect. Does that make sense? He's free from ever becoming imperfect, changing from being perfect to imperfect. Free from that. Salimun min al-ghiyar. SubhanAllah, how can you not love Allah? Tell me that. How can you not love Allah? That's why the kafir, subhanAllah, has no aql, has no intellect. How can you not love Allah? How can you not want to follow and believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Just this line itself, Subhana Rabbi salimun min al-ghiyar. My Lord is too perfect. He's free from any chain, any naqs. What's your question? Huh? Tayyib. Then the next line it says, وَلَمْ يَحُطْ وَهُمْ بِهِ وَلَا فِكَرْ وَلَمْ يَحُطْ. They will never be able to encompass Allah, to be able to understand Allah. As Allah Ta'ala says, لَا تُدْرِكُ الْأَبْصَارُ وَهُوَ لَا حَوْلَ وَلَا قُوَّةَ إِلَّا بِاللَّهِ وَهُوَ يُدْرِكُ الْأَبْصَارِ. That Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, Shaykh al-Taymin rahimahullah ta'ala, he said during his classes, he would say at the beginning of the ayah, he would say, Ikmil, Tulab, where is Tulab al-Ilm? Talib al-Ilm, you're supposed to be able to complete the ayah, right? That no sight can understand the reality of Allah, but Allah encompasses all the eyesights, right? All the sight Allah encompasses, understands all of it, right? Or Allah said, وَلَا يُحِيطُونَ بِشَيْءٍ مِّن عِلْمِهِ. That no one's knowledge, وَلَا يُحِيطُونَ بِشَيْءٍ مِّن عِلْمِهِ. You won't be able to grasp anything from his ilm. إِلَّا بِإِذْنِهِ. Except with his permission. So وَلَمْ يَحُطْ means that you will not be able to grasp or encircle or fully understand Allah. Right? You will not be able to do that. Even though we say, look at the line, how it goes together. We say, Subhana Rabbi Salimun min al-ghiyar, walam yahut bihi, walam yahut wa hum bihi wala fikr. Right? He's free from any imperfections. He will not change, but you will never fully understand him. Even though we're telling you Allah is perfect, you will never fully understand his perfection. You will never, walam yahut, you will never fully understand the perfection of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You will never fully understand Allah. It's impossible. Allah says, وَمَا قَدْرُ اللَّهَ حَقَّ قَدْرِهِ, that they are not able to give Allah his full estimation, his full worth. No, we can't do it. وَهُمْ بِهِ وَلَا فِكَرْ. وَهُمْ بِهِ means, and what are you to how could you? How could they? وَهُمْ بِهِ. It says, this is why, subhanAllah. وَلَمْ يَحُطْ وَهُمْ بِهِ. They will never be able to encompass Allah. وَهُمْ بِهِ. And who are they to him? Do you see what this means? Who are they to Allah to be able to understand him? وَهُمْ بِهِ وَلَا فِكَرْ. Subhanallah. Subhanallah. وَلَمْ يَحُطْ. You will never be able to understand Allah. وَهُمْ بِهِ. Who are they to understand him? That's what this means here. وَهُمْ بِهِ. Who are they to understand Allah? Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Where did you come? You come from nothing. We're all creation from Allah. Who are we to think we can understand Allah, what he's going to do? Sometimes people say, oh, I don't agree with Allah, that ayah. I don't agree with that law. Why does Allah say that they can do that? Why does Allah say they can't do that? وَهُمْ بِهِ. Who are you to understand what Allah said? How do you dare think that you can understand Allah? Allah knows and you don't know. وَاللَّهُ يَعْلَمُ وَأَنْتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Allah knows and you don't know nothing. You don't know. How can you dare think that you can understand Allah? وَلَا فِكَرْ. And you can't even think, begin to think, to imagine Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wallahi, this line of poetry is so beautiful. If we just understood this line of poetry about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it puts us in place and it puts Allah where he deserves to be, where he deserves. And lets us remember that we're his creation. That we don't have a right to think that we'll understand everything about Allah. No, you don't have that right. Subhana Rabbi Salimun min al-ghiyar. Wa lam yahut wa hum bihi wa la fikr. What does that mean? Someone explain that to me, please. Explain that to me, please. Yes?
That verse?
Yeah, that line, please. I like that line. I want someone else to explain it to me so I get some more fact. Go ahead, bismillah. Tafaddal.
Subhanallah.
Subhana Rabbi.
Subhanallah Rabbi. Allah is free from any and every defection. And Allah is perfect. And that's how we, glorify him.
Oh, some of you guys need papers?
Salah.
Salimun min al-ghiyar.
He's meaning Salimun min al-ghiyar. Meaning that he's free from imperfection. And he's perfect. And that means he won't change from being perfect to imperfect.
Barakallahu fikum.
Walam yahut, meaning that who is able to understand? No one is able to understand.
Who are you?
Oh yeah, who are you to able to understand Allah and His knowledge?
No, I need this.
Wahum bihi. Wahum bihi.
Who are they? Who are they? To think they can understand Allah. Who are they in regards to Allah? Take pictures of it. I only have 15 copies. وَهُمْ بِهِ وَلَا فِكَرٍ.
They can't even like
Think at all about who Allah is.
about who Allah is and why He does. You will never be able to understand.
Never. طيب. أسماؤه الحسنى صفاته العلى. His names, أسماؤه الحسنى غاية الحسن. That the names of Allah, they are at the highest level of beauty and perfection. Why did we say before that Allah's names are perfect? Does anybody remember why we said they're perfect? Huh? Why?
Because they describe Allah.
Because their names, they're not just names, empty names. They're names that include descriptions. They're names that include descriptions of Allah, and they're perfectly describing Him. Beautifully describing Him. They're beautiful in their wording and in their meaning. They're beautiful in their wording and in their meaning. That's why it says, Asma'ul Husna Sifatul Ula. And His sifat are the highest, exalted, the greatest understanding that you can think of about someone's characteristics. Allah's are the highest level of exaltedness. His sifat, His characteristics are exalted. His characteristics are esteemed. His characteristics are high and lofty. He doesn't have any low, despicable characteristics. All of Allah's characteristics are high. You know when we say somebody's low, you're low, man. You really did that? Oh, how low can you go? No, Allah is high and far removed from being low and despicable. Sifatuhu al-ula. Sifatuhu mada? Ula. Fil lafzi wal ma'na. In meaning and wording. Not just high in meaning, not just lofty in meaning, also the wording of them. The actual wording of the names of Allah are lofty and high. Fil lafzi wal ma'na. Ta'ala dhul ula. He is exalted. Dhul ula. He's exalted, and He is the one who is again possessing of highness. Allah is high in His self, in His names, and His attributes. Allah is again high fi dhatihi, wa asma'ihi, wa sifatihi, wa af'alihi. Allah is high in Himself. He's above His throne, high above the creation. Allah is high in His self. Where? He's high above the creation. And He's high in His attributes, meaning that He doesn't have lowly, despicable characteristics. He's high in His actions. His actions are all beautiful and exalted. He's high in His names. All of Allah is high and exalted. Do we understand that? We were supposed to start about Allah today and the Rabb, but we ran out of time for obvious reasons that no one, if we come prepared, we get more. If you come prepared, you get more out of the class. But if you come unprepared, then you get less, because then we have to review so much. Every week, prepare. I'm telling you in advance, we will review every week. So be prepared. The videos are recorded. Watch them if you have to remember. But we will review. We will test you every week. Be prepared. So don't come next week and then, I don't know, and then you feel bad that we call you out. No, I'm telling you in advance, we will test you every week. We will test you to prove your knowledge. Every week, you will be examined about what you know. Knowledge is only that which you can take with you into the bathroom. Can you take a mushaf with you into the bathroom? No. Can you take your books with you into the bathroom? So what's knowledge? That which you've memorized and understood. So you have to memorize. You have to understand well. These are the two pinnacles of ilm. Fahm wal hifz. Good understanding and good memorization. Good understanding and good memorization. So I'm telling you, you will be examined every week. Be prepared. Review. Go over this. Some of you don't even have notebooks. It's shameful for a talib al-ilm to consider themselves a talib al-ilm and you don't even have a notebook. I remember I was young, one mujahid, he told me, one warrior, he told me, and he saw me when I was like your age, 12 or 13, and he asked me for a pen. I said, Sheikh, I don't have a pen. He said, what type of warrior are you? I said, man, I'm not no warrior, I guess. You know, that was especially before the time when, you know, we have phones now so you can record, write in your phone. But especially some of you guys don't even have a phone to be writing in. How you don't have a pen with you? Some paper with you. I felt bad. I said, man, I'm going to keep me some pens with me from now on. You know, somehow they said, what type of warrior? He made me feel bad. And it was in front of some other OG warriors. And he said, you know, what type of warrior are you? I said, man, I guess I ain't no warrior. I've been running around talking big talk. I'm a warrior, fighter of the year. I could beat anybody. I don't even... Because a warrior doesn't just mean you can fight. It means you can think. The true warrior is not just the fighter. The true warrior is the one who can outthink their opponent. Yeah. If you can fight good, but the other person thinks better, guess who will win? The one who thinks better. So for you to be a true warrior, you have to be a scholar. You have to be able to know the ways, like the Shaykh Rahimahullah Ta'ala, Shaykh Muhammad Amin al-Hadari used to say. He said that for you to have taqwa, he said taqwa is of two types. Taqwa in the dunya and taqwa for the akhirah. Taqwa in the dunya, for you to protect yourself from the harms of the dunya. How do you protect yourself from the harms of the dunya? Somebody tell me. By knowledge of the harms of the dunya. By knowledge of the nizam of the dunya. The dunya has certain rules that you have to live by, right? And if you don't know those rules, like war has certain rules to play by. If you don't know the rules of war, you're going to die. You're not going to win. So you have to learn how to protect yourself. Today, there's certain rules that society has to live by. What are those? Girls should not be out at nighttime by themselves, right? Another rule that we might want to start thinking about, don't go shopping at Carousel Mall on Black Friday because it's not safe, right? Those are rules of life. So if you want to have taqwa in the dunya, you got to learn how to protect yourself in the dunya. The same way we have to protect ourselves from the harms that will harm us in the akhirah, we have to protect ourselves from the harms of the dunya. Because we live here. Even the girls should learn how to do some type of fighting, right? You see what happened with the lady in Australia. MashaAllah, she had a good out for a friend. She hit the guy with a chair. Get off my friend. How many of y'all gonna hit a person with a chair to help your friend? Right? That's true, right? But the girl I'll tell you guys a secret. Do you know why that guy punched that girl? Do you know why he punched her and not the other friends? No, it wasn't because she was pregnant. There's always two sides to a story, right? And we have to be honest. Even as Muslims, we don't like what he did. We would have beat the guy till he couldn't think. But we also have to look at what she did, right? Do you notice that when the guy came up to the table, we watched this video, some of the imams and stuff, we talked about this, right? That when the guy came up to the table, he started talking stuff. He said some things he shouldn't have said, right? But do you notice that he did not punch the two ladies that were closer to him? He punched the lady that was further from him because she started talking junk. It's a reality. You can't talk junk and can't back it up. It's a reality. He's wrong. And we would have beat him until he can't think. But the women have to know how to patrol themselves. You know that you're in a situation where you're not safe. Why are you going to antagonize this crazy guy? He's crazy. May Allah give him what he deserves. But don't push him. She starts saying, you can see her head moving. Get away from this stupid guy. He punches her. But alhamdulillah, she had good outs for friends. And she hit one of the friends, mashallah. I said, who is this out lady? She picked up a chair and hit the guy in the back of the head with the chair. Baga! He fell to the ground.
That was the strongest blow.
Yeah, that was the strongest blow. Because the guys didn't even get him off of her. The guys didn't get him off. It was her hitting him with the chair by the permission of Allah that knocked him down. Subhanallah. So you got to be able to do something. You're going to be outside. You going to school. You go to work. Whatever you might be doing, be able to protect yourself. Be able to protect yourself. Understand the nizam of living. There's a certain rules to living in America. Certain rules. What you should do, what you shouldn't do. Where you should be, where you shouldn't be. Don't walk down through the bricks in the middle of the night, right? They ain't got no business being in there. And then wonder why you got robbed. What are you doing over there? Right? So seriously, if you want to have taqwa, right? I'm just saying as an example, right? We have to learn how to think properly. Like someone said, yes, Islam is a thinking person's religion. Allah says all the time, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَعْقِلُونَ, so that you might think. Can't be a dumb Muslim. We don't need dumb Muslims. Allah never praises dumbness. Allah praises those who have intellect, those who think well. Those who can see the attack of their enemy before, oh, I see you over there. Okay, mashallah, I got you. Let me walk the other way. Let me go around the corner. I'm not going to go right through you right now. So we have to be like that. Bismillah ta'ala. So please, think. Please be prepared for class next week. Please memorize. It does not take that long. But what will happen is this. You guys will fall so far behind that you'll say, oh, I can't catch up. That's what's going to happen. So take the day. All you have to do is 2 lines a day. Memorize 2 lines a day. It's not difficult and it's not hard. الحمد لله سابق النعم وخالق الإنسان من بعد العدم فالحمد ثم الحمد ثم الحمد لك حمدا كثيرا طيبا يا رب. 2 lines a day. And you will catch up. هذا وصلى الله عليه وسلم سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك